All right, let's see if you get these words. So, pause it if you don't have a pencil and paper, or if you are going to get a whiteboard and a marker. So, a list word that starts with QU. That's a pretty easy one. Okay, you have quit and quiz. Starts with WH. Which, while, and white. A compound word. This is a great question, actually. Find a list word that could form a compound word with mean, which means when you have two simple words that come to form one word. What? Wow. Oh, yes. Sorry. I was confused. Meanwhile, makes sense, right? It took me a while to get that. Okay. What word rhymes with smile? While. What word rhymes with fork? Walk. What word rhymes with light? White. A word that rhymes with fist? Twist. Okay, so segment 5 of your words, and here's a little option for you. If you want, you can create a strip of your favorite movie. Okay, we're going to continue to look at some of the keywords in the poem that we're going to read tomorrow. I believe it's tomorrow. So the first word is kapais, which is a small group of trees growing very closely together. Veins, one of the blood vessels that carry the blood back to the heart. Okay, so that's what our veins are used for. Sweeping plains is a plain is a broad area of relatively flat land. Okay, so flat land that's quite big. Sunburnt country is just a very hot and dry land. Okay, so you're doing the same thing that you did yesterday. Choose one of the words and give 3 clues. We're going to continue to look at using complex sentences in our writing. Now, remember, a complex sentence is when you have two clauses. You have your independent clause, you have your dependent clause. Independent clause is like the parent of the sentence. It can be alone, it can stand alone, but there's no detail to it. So you need the children, which are the dependent clause, but they can't be on their own. This example that I wrote today is one that shows how you can actually put a dependent clause inside a sentence. It doesn't need to be at the beginning and it doesn't need to be at the end. So it can be at the beginning, can be in the middle or at the end. So for example, if I'm just going to read the purple part, which is the independent clause. Alice Springs' stunning landscapes create a diverse and exhilarating destination to explore. That's a sentence on its own. Okay. Now I've put the S there, the apostrophe there, because I'm talking about the landscapes that belong to Alice Springs, but it already ends in an S. This here is a dependent clause. This is extra information. Remote communities and unique pioneering history. Okay, so important history for our culture. Now I'm going to put it together. Alice Springs' stunning landscapes, remote communities, and unique pioneering history create a diverse and exhilarating destination to explore. What I want you to do is watch this clip here if you need some further information to clarify complex sentences. Then I'm going to read this part here. Margot convinces Carl. Russell, who was very excited, it was a very excitable, positive, and eager boy, was quickly convinced. Sorry, I'll move this so you can see my amazing picture cropping skills. He was all packed and ready to go to the sunburnt red land, which held many important Aboriginal Dreamtime stories. However, it always took Carl a lot longer to take on a new adventure, especially to places he had never been to. So Margot, who was a very intelligent teen, gave some persuasive reasons that Carl could reside in Alice Springs. I want you to join the independent and dependent clauses on the next page to show her argument. So read the sentence without the connective and then try and add the connective. A native should be a small n, not a capitalized N, but you would connect one sentence to another, just like you did yesterday. The next thing that I want you to do is try and see if you can highlight the difference between the independent and the dependent clauses in these sentences. You don't need to do both because it probably take a while. If you want, you can do both activities, or you can just choose one that you prefer to do. Then you're going to get up and move a little bit before you go on to your next task.